Welcome to Chamber Chats, a weekly series by the West Monroe West Ouachita Chamber of Commerce highlighting our valued members. As always, find out more about the Chamber and our members online at westmonroechamber.org. Special thanks to our Season 2 title sponsor, Ouachita Valley Federal Credit Union. And now, this week's episode of Chamber Chats.
Welcome to Season 2 of Chamber Chats. Today we are joined with our former chairman, Josh Hayes of Lazenby and Associates. Thanks for coming, Josh.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so let's talk for a second about, you just served as chairman of the board. And so tell us about, now that you're rotated off and we don't have to bug you every day, tell us about your year and what you learned and a little perspective there.
Well, I mean, it was great. I think at that time, we had a lot of drives, for members.
That's right.
And when I came in, we had already had, we had great chairmen, but, recently we had Clark and then we had Amanda.
That's right.
And so when I got there, it was in pretty good shape.
Sure.
So don't sink the ship was what I was thinking. But, no, I mean, just, the members, financials,
Yeah.
I
Seeing
think,
expansion of membership.
Yeah, I think, if I remember right, we were kind of the top tier there for membership, and we were able to do some things to kind of grow financially, and just, like we're taught, leave it better than you found it.
That's right.
So I hope that's what we did.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we've had a legacy of chairmen. The last 5 have been very strong, both strong in their community connections like you are and strong in their leadership skills. So we thank you for your time.
Yeah.
So tell us, you work at Lazenby and Associates. Maybe many people don't know, but Lazenby has been around for a long time. Mr. Lazenby has a long legacy of projects in our community. So tell us a little bit about the firm itself.
All right, so we are a consulting engineer and land surveying firm.
Okay.
And so that's predominantly civil engineering.
Yeah.
And there's kind of multi-disciplines below, underneath that umbrella. But we've got we're 32 employees.
Wow.
We have 10 engineers and 3 engineer interns. 3 of those 10 engineers are dual license, which means they're a professional engineer and they're also a professional land surveyor.
Oh, wow.
And so, and then we have support staff, and then we have 3 survey crews that go out in the field and do our surveying, the field work.
Yeah. And so what's your role at Lazenby?
I'm a project engineer, and many years ago, before I got there, they offered ownership in the company, and so, gosh, I don't remember the year, but I do have some ownership. But I guess my official title is project engineer, and I just manage projects.
Each stage. Yeah.
We do. I mean, we help each other out. If I see somebody needs some help,
Sure.
I just say, hey man, how can I jump in there and knock this thing out?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I manage projects. Our main clients are DOT, Ouachita Parish Police Jury, City of West Monroe, and the City of Monroe.
Got it.
So with all of that, we
There's
generally have a lot going on.
And a time with unprecedented money coming in from the Fed, it must be a very busy time for y'all.
It is. Years past, kind of the beginning of the year was always time to do some grant applications, okay?
Right.
And then November comes around, you got capital outlay.
Right.
So October, November.
Right.
Well, for like the past 5 years, it's been grant applications every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nonstop.
So
yeah.
that's been a little bit of a change, but it's good.
Sure.
Because we're helping those clients that I
Yeah.
just mentioned, and we've been successful.
Yeah.
And they have as well.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the misconceptions about your industry is how long it really takes to get a project from the idea through funding, through the actual studies, all the way through the engineering plans, and actually a contractor is awarded the job. It's a long process.
it is, and it really depends on the type of money.
Sure.
What agency. And there's a lot of things that go into it, as far as
Sure.
permitting.
Right.
You got environmental, DOT permits.
Sure.
Louisiana Department of Health.
Right.
Just a lot. That
And around here, you're going to go over water no matter what.
Yeah.
It seems like. So,
yeah. So exactly. You have drainage impact statements
Right.
and things of
All
that
kinds of
nature. But it's all for the good.
Yeah.
Because you can't impact folks downstream or upstream
Right.
from you.
And now with the cost of inflation, I'm sure y'all are having to do a lot of reevaluation of this was the funding mechanism. What can we cut? How can we economize to actually get the program, the project to fruition?
Yeah, we try to stay on top of that.
Yeah.
And we've seen it just over the past 5 years. Some of the costs increase.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you, you don't know until you open those bids.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And the actual contractors are given a
Yes.
number.
I mean, we do the best that we can.
Sure.
But and that's the beauty of it is there's competition.
Yes.
And I mean that
Keeps
that
people
goes
honest.
that
Yeah.
goes all the way to our nation's economic
Yeah.
power.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
So Josh, where do you see Lazenby expanding? Like, what is the future in engineering in our area?
Well, I hope that we continue to grow like we have over the past 3 to 5 years. We've had some new hires, and you and I talked about the engineering interns that we hired, and that's a process as well.
That's very interesting to me because you are investing in that student, that young person, and so they have some maybe brand loyalty, some relationship loyalty. So speak a little bit about how you work with an intern day to day.
Yeah, so what typically we have done is we will go partner with Louisiana Tech, so to speak, just kind of get some background. Maybe they have someone in mind, and we can kind of fill them out. But once they sometimes they'll come to work for us in the summer.
Got it.
And so we're training them. They're still going through their coursework, but it's good for them to have a little bit of that experience while they're going through their coursework.
It probably makes the coursework, the math makes sense.
Yes.
Here's an actual application.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they'll come to work for us in the summers, go back to school, and then we'll kind of come to some kind of understanding. We'd like for you to come on full time.
Yeah.
And so most time they do, which is good.
Right.
And so they'll come work for us full time, and so at that point they've graduated, and most of the time they've already passed their fundamentals of engineering. We call it the FE.
Yeah.
And that's a very good thing. It's
Yeah.
a very difficult test, it's an 8-hour test.
Wow.
But so that's an accomplishment in itself right there. So they work for 4 years under a licensed professional, and then when they're ready, once those 4 years are up, they can apply with the we call it the lapels. It's our governing board, and they will. We write recommendation letters. They request to sit for their PE exam, which is a professional engineer exam, and it's similar to the FE. It's 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the afternoon.
Does that examination is it different from state to state? So like, do you have to be licensed in different states?
There is some reciprocity.
Okay.
I actually haven't taken that test in other states, but there is a process. It's NCEES, NCs, where you can get NC certification.
Got it.
And say if I'm licensed in Louisiana and I have my
Mississippi
NC
or
certification, it's very simple just to jump up to Arkansas.
Got it.
And turn in my paperwork and
Right.
get a license in Arkansas.
Wow, that's fascinating
But
to me.
that's the easy.
Yeah.
There are some states that are a little different, and they could be more difficult.
I'm reflecting for a moment. My grandfather run heavy equipment, and so everywhere we would go in the state of Mississippi, he would tell about building a road. I would imagine you get
my
a sense
kids.
of pride about riding around.
It's a joke in our family, because we'll be riding around. the parish, really all over Northeast Louisiana.
Yeah.
And they'll say,
Your fingerprints are there.
Dad, did you build that one? I'm like, shut up, dude.
But you get a sense of pride because they're lasting. You have lasting fingerprints on your community.
Yeah.
In infrastructure projects.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Is there anything that stands out at you that you're kind of particularly proud of in your recent career?
Kind of a big project that we continuously worked on was the Greater Ouachita Port.
Yeah.
I know you know Kevin Crosby. He and I, there's a lot of us, but he and I kind of took the lead on that one.
And that's kind of interesting because it's almost hidden. You really have to know it's there.
Yeah. I think in those days, dollars, I think it's about $12 million in assets with zero taxes levied on the public.
The community came together to make it a reality.
Yeah, they have no tax,
right?
So everything down there was built with grant funds.
Yeah.
So
cool. Well, in one sentence, or one reflection, what do you personally want to do with the rest of your career? What's next for you?
Just continuing the same, I hope, because we've been very blessed and fortunate to continue to have work and put good work out, so.
When it sounds like you're balancing the secret of continuing your employees coming in, and fostering development there with interns.
Sure.
Sounds like you're fostering good community there. And I know that you've been a good community steward. Lazenby is a great corporate sponsor of the chamber and has been that way for many years.
Yeah.
So we know that you give back into the community. So you're making a name for your company as a reputation, a positive reputation.
Sure. Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that because, Jerry Lazenby, he has always encouraged us. And through doing that, some of the guys that are younger than him, they learned from him in ways to do that.
Right. Give back.
So they always encourage us, to participate. And we have the Louisiana Engineering Society.
Yeah.
And there's chapters all over the state, but, of course, we have the Monroe chapter here. And so our firm is heavily involved in that. And all of our senior guys kind of encourage that participation.
Sure.
Help you. With their experience, allow you some time, to go and take a few hours that day and just maybe strictly just do chamber, maybe strictly just do LES for some time.
Right.
So, and you talked about hiring. Lazenby told me one time the key to keeping good people and hiring good people. He said, I just hire people that are smarter than me. So I thought, that's pretty good.
Surround yourself with intelligent people.
Yeah, that's a pretty good strategy.
Absolutely. Well, Josh, thank you for your time. Thank you for what Lazenby's doing in the community, and we certainly appreciated your chairmanship year, and we hope that you'll continue to be plugged in. I know you will. For those that are listening, we're excited about season 2 of the podcast. Stay tuned right here from Louisiana Delta Community College Studio for more episodes of Chamber Chats.